So while I was removing the rocker oil feed line, it reminded me to tell you guys about something. So I've already taken everything apart, and everything's fine. You've got to be really careful when taking this guy out. It's made of a very soft material and can easily bend and damage the joints. So something that I noticed right at the end here, and I just wanted to remind you guys, when stripping a machine like this, is to always make notes of the little things that you need to repair or replace along the way as you're stripping, instead of doing it after everything is stripped and done. It'll make your life a lot easier making notes like that. If you look really closely, I don't know if I can zoom in there, right on the end of this where it goes on top of the spindle, you'll notice that it's the soldering is cracked, and that'll create an oil leak for sure, as the oil comes in the tiny little hole, and you can't see it in the camera here. I'll try and push this lighting up here a bit. You can't see it. The oil comes through this little fitting and down to the top of the rocker over there. So we are removing the two rocker boxes to remove the head. Let's have a look what's going on inside here, and let's see the condition of the pistons and all the rest of it. I've already removed most of the bolts down to the last one here. These two Allen heads have already been loosened. Let me take that out there. Okay. We're going to have to replace these gaskets on the rockers. They're completely buggered, which is fine. Can maybe even make some up. Let's put that over there. Okay, remove the push rods. There's 4 of them. There's nothing wrong with those. And this should slide off. There we go. Okay. Let's first have a look here. Condition of the head, the valves. Oh, it's going to need a bit of cleaning up. There's a lot of carbon. But generally okay. On this side, to get to when I get to the gearbox and get the gearbox out, put the bike into 4th gear, and we've removed the cable from the lever. We've got to get this out. It's already loose. We just turn this out of the casing, and you'll see at the bottom the cable will be stuck onto a ball end that can just slide out the top like that. Just comes out of the casing like that. That's out the way, and loosened all these bolts here around the casing. Get these guys out. Okay. There's 4 of these hex nut screws, bolts, and these 2 guys. Alright, we've taken the bolts out and we're ready to take this cover off. You don't have to remove the gear lever, as the shaft is connected to the outside casing. What you do need to be careful of is over the years, through washing the bike and that sort of thing, this seal over here will definitely have been worn, and water would have got inside there, and seals from the gearbox would have been a bit worn, so there's going to be a bit of sludge and rubbish inside there for sure. So make sure that you have a catch basin, and sometimes they give you a bit of a hard time, but this one's going to come off really easily. And just be careful of the spring inside there. Yeah, and sure enough, you can see there's been water mixing with a bit of oil inside here. So that seal is going to have to need a bit of repair work there. Things seem okay here. It seems okay. Now, but there's certainly a seal. The seal is damaged here. Rubber seal. Tiny plate. Spring plate. Spring. Like a thrust spacer washer goes over there. Okay, in order to get to the gearbox, we've removed the nut here. There's a washer at the back of the nut that flattens on the faces. You just have to open those faces up, remove the nut. And in order to do that, because it's driving the gearbox, you've got to hold you have somehow to stop the motor from moving over, to hold the chain or something like that. And you can turn the nut off and remove the washer. But then you have to remove the spindle that's holding the selector cam in place. There's a cotter pin inside here, so you remove this the selector arrow that's at the top here, and then in order to get to the cotter pin, this is, if you look at the top here, it creates a gap. You can see the top of the cotter pin. I've already hit it flat, and then you just use some small pliers. And if you already flattened the cotter pin from the top here with a screwdriver, you can just pull it out and pull the top of the shaft over here, and it will come out. And grab that. That will come out. It loosens up the selector cam, and this whole guy then can come out. And there you go.